Hi, I'm Mike Singletary. The other Mike Singletary, owner of Singletary's Furniture.
Whether looking for the perfect piece or an entire room, Singletary's large inventory of quality brands makes shopping easy. Our friendly staff will gladly assist you with decorating ideas, financing, and free delivery in the area. And everyday low prices and customer satisfaction is always our goal.
Price, selection, and quality are very important at Singletary's Furniture, and we got prices you can bear.
Welcome again to Kangaroo Football 1999. What a thrilling season it's been. 9-1 on the regular season. District champions of District 8 4A. Very, very thrilled with the way our football team has responded each and every week and have risen to the occasion to fight each and every opponent throughout the district and come away with a district championship in a very dominating fashion. And we could not be any more proud of our football team than what we are. They've worked extremely hard. They've done all that we've asked them to do, and then some have done a little bit more. We're very, very thrilled with what they've accomplished. But they're not finished yet. This football team is a special football team, as we've all witnessed, and the work that they've done has paid off to become district champions. The work they've done is going to pay off as we enter the playoffs now and have an opportunity to win 10 games in a row in this first playoff game, this first state championship game of this state championship series. You know, I have been involved in a few of these playoff series over the years, and the thing that is so very important for our football team and for all of us right now is to realize that each and every game is a state championship game in itself, because you never know that who you might be playing the first round may indeed be the very best team in the class other than the team that you have. So it is critical that you approach every single game in that mental frame of mind that this is truly a state championship contest, because it really is. And I think the team that can comprehend that and the team that approaches each and every playoff game as a state championship contest certainly has an advantage throughout the course of that playoff series. As we said last Friday night, last home game of the year, last home game for our seniors, we were able to defeat Northwest rather handily. The final score didn't indicate it was quite as easy as maybe it seemed or as it appeared on Friday night, but we felt comfortable throughout the contest and felt really good about the way our football team performed. We gave up a few too many yards again and gave up more points than we have in any other district game. That last touchdown coming against some of our reserves that were getting an opportunity to play much needed time to play on the field, and so we were certainly pleased with the overall performance of our football team. Wish we hadn't given up the points, wish we hadn't given up the yards we did, but again, pleased with the victory, especially in a game that didn't mean anything to us other than just making that 9th win in a row seem very, very special. This week, as we prepare for Denton, I know that Denton has a very fine football team. They may be as good a team as we'll see in the playoffs. Very talented. They were district champions a year ago. They returned a lot of players from that football team, and they're a team that a lot of people think have a chance to go all the way. So this is a big game. No doubt that we win this football game. We know we will have done that because of great preparation on the part of our football team and because of the effort and fight necessary to become champions. So look forward to this week. It's going to be a very exciting time. I don't know of any other time that could be any more exciting than Texas high school football playoffs. Certainly when you're right in the middle of that and have an opportunity to actually achieve something that has never been done in Weatherford, Texas, and that is to claim a state championship. We got a lot of work to do. We're not there yet. We're not a team that is capable of winning it just yet, but if we continue to improve, we certainly have a chance to do that. And if we get a break or two along the way, of course, any state championship team has to have that happen. You got to have good things happen to you. You got to prepare well. You got to fight your hearts out each and every play, and good things will happen. And we anticipate that as this week we go to Farrington Field for the first round, that first state championship game in a series of state championship games to claim the outright Division I Class 4A state championship. Look forward to all the thrills and excitement that brings, and we hope that you will be there at Farrington Field on Friday night to do your part in bringing this state championship opportunity and claiming this state championship opportunity for the city of Weatherford and Weatherford High School.
Hi, I'm Mike Singletary of Singletary's Furniture. You know, there's only one thing more relaxing than fishing, and that's kicking back in a good recliner. At Singletary's Furniture, we have a full selection of top quality recliners, such as Flex Steel, Best Chairs, Ashley, and Lazy Boy. Come by and see how great these recliners are, because once you sit in them, you're never going to want to get out of them. Catch the big savings at Singletary's Furniture, 1215 Highway 180 West in Weatherford.
For a quick injury update, we could not be any healthier as a football team than what we are. We've got, of course, our normal bumps and bruises and some of those nagging things that are going to linger as the season goes on at this point in the season. But we are extremely healthy as a football team. Todd Stroud, who's been out since the Stephenville game, will rejoin the team this week in practice, so Todd will be available in a backup role if needed. So with the exception of a couple of guys who we might miss because of grades, we're going to be as healthy as a football team could possibly be, and that is one of those things that you have to have. When we talk about getting some good things happening for you, that's one of the things, and that is staying healthy. Another thing that happened good for us, we won the flip. And being able to play at Farrington Field as opposed to being forced to play on an artificial surface somewhere, either at Denton or at Burkeville. So we are thrilled to death with the way things have turned out thus far. We're healthy. We won a flip, so good things are happening, and we look forward to this week, as I've already stated. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be able to come to you, the sponsors for this production, Brad and his crew. We just really want to thank all of you for the opportunity to come in to your viewing pleasure each and every week, and hope you've enjoyed it, and hope that we have 5 playoff games that you can really enjoy to be the highlight of this football season. Again, Rue Moms, thanks for all that you do and making this possible through selling these sponsorships and making this production happen. And we appreciate all that the Rue Moms do and the parents do in support of our football team. A great week, and we look forward to it and hope that you will join us for each and every exciting playoff game.
I'm Mike Singletary. Everyone knows I love to rough it in the great outdoors. But sometimes it's hard to get a good night's rest sleeping on this hard ground. I sure miss my Sealy mattress.
Where'd you like the new mattress, Mr. Singletary?
Just put it in the tent. Come check out a wide selection of fine Sealy mattresses at everyday low prices at Singletary's Furniture.
Dad, Mom said it's time to come in for supper.
The following is a Nothing But Sports production. Hello, everyone. I'm Bob Tallman for Nothing But Sports with another exciting game of the #1 pastime in Texas, high school football. In a minute, we're going to take a look at the scouting reports, the coaches' spotlight, and the keys to the game. But right now, let's recap last week's action that you can't afford to miss. It's touchdown time.
The Roos unleashed their high-powered offense early at Azle. On the first play of the second possession, the offensive line cleared a huge hole on the left side, and tailback Mark Pierce was off to the races for a 62-yard touchdown, his 5th long touchdown run of the season. Later, quarterback Zach Moore also showed his speed, beating everyone to the right side for another Roo touchdown. Pierce scored again on this 10-yard run, virtually untouched, through another gaping hole on the left side. The Hornets also got a taste of fullback Garrett Hudson's running ability, here on a 36-yard burst up the middle, tackled just short of the end zone. Moore's last-second pitch to Pierce turned a loss into a 29-yard gain. The Roo defense dominated the Azle offense all night. Craig Boney smothers the Azle quarterback on this play to collect his 5th sack. Even when the Azle back slipped away from one Roo tackler, he stepped right into 2 or 3 more. Colt Borland neatly picked off his 3rd interception, but was kept from a long return by a Hornet ankle bracelet. Special teams work kept the Hornets deep in their own territory. Shane Weeks whips up the crowd at the Roo Rodeo with this bulldog tackle on a kickoff.
When we come back, we want to go inside the helmets and look at this week's players' scouting reports, the coaches' spotlights. Huddle up, everybody. Don't leave the field.
Honey, can you pay these bills? It won't take you very long if you use Texas Banker Online.
Sure. Girls, I'll be right back.
Texas Banker Online, a simple and secure way to bank over the internet with no service charge. Now you can pay bills quickly and conveniently from the comfort of your own home with Texas Banker Online.
That was quick.
Yeah, that Texas Banker Online is really simple. Whose turn is it anyways?
Texas Banker Online, a product from Texas Bank. Plug in now.
They dress him up like a ghost and he's looking through and it's Halloween and he's walking around like this.
My parents told me to go swimming, and I was like, no.
You love watching movies, and Blockbuster thinks you should be rewarded for that with Blockbuster Rewards, where the more movies you rent, the more free ones you get. Plus, get a free Blockbuster Favorites movie every month.
He got on top of that bomb just like it was a horse. He was going to ride that rascal all right on into where it was going.
Join Blockbuster Rewards today and go home happy.
Hello everyone, I'm Sean McQuinn for Nothing But Sports Productions. It's the final game of the regular season for the Kangaroos as they prepare for the playoffs. Today's game will be at Kangaroo Stadium in Weatherford for a District 8 4A game between the visiting Justin Northwest Texans and your home team, the Weatherford Kangaroos. The Weatherford Kangaroos come in with a season record of 8 wins against only 1 loss. Offensively, the Roos are rolling. They're averaging 319 yards rushing per game, 43 yards passing, for a total of 362 yards per game on offense, while scoring an average of 29 points per game. The defense has been stingy all year long for the Kangaroos. They're allowing an average of only 174 rushing yards per game and 93 passing yards per game, while only giving up an average of 11 points per game on the season. Here's what head coach Larry McBroom of the Weatherford Kangaroos had to say about his upcoming opponent, the Northwest Texans. He said head coach Terry Good always brings a well-prepared, disciplined option offense and an aggressive defense to the field. The Texans have a tough, hard-running fullback and a good offensive line. He says our offense has to counter the Texans' methodical style of offense. The Roos must continue their offensive line play and keep the ball for long, productive drives. To prepare for the playoffs, it is important to knock the dust off the passing game to show that threat to our future opponents. On defense, the Roos must get aligned properly versus the Texans' many different tight and unbalanced formations and defend the option by taking the dive, quarterback, and pitch on each play.
Welcome back, everybody. In order to play successful football, you have to be tough on the football field, both mentally and physically. But what about off the field? Let's take a look.
Let's take a look at number 10 for the Weatherford Kangaroos. That's Todd Stroud, 5'11", 195-pound junior linebacker. His favorite academic subject in school is history. His hobbies and interests include hunting, fishing, sports, and lifting weights. Some of his future career goals in life include playing college and pro baseball. We asked him what it would take to be a champion, and he said, I would make any sacrifices needed and push myself to the limit. That's number 10, Todd Stroud for the Weatherford Kangaroos. Let's take a look at Cashin Carlisle, the Weatherford Kangaroos. He's number 25, 5'11", 170-pound senior. We asked him what some of his hobbies and interests were. He said watching football, playing PlayStation, and throwing the football with his dad. Some of his career goals are to play special teams for a pro football team or to be a coach. We asked him what he would do to be a champion. He said, whatever it takes for Cashin Carlisle to be one, I will be a champion. Cashin Carlisle, number 25 of the Weatherford Kangaroos. Let's take a look at Brandon Brown of the Weatherford Kangaroos. He is a junior at 6'1" and 285 pounds, number 66. And some of his hobbies and interests include playing PlayStation, bowling, and going to Fort Worth. We asked him what some of his future career goals are. He said either own a food chain or play pro football. We asked him what he would do to be a champion. He said work harder, get in shape, and develop a stronger mental toughness. That's number 66, Brandon Brown of the Weatherford Kangaroos.
Today's game is being brought to you by Texas Bank. With us, it's personal. And by the New Car Dealers, backing the Roo Crew in '99. That concludes this week's NBSP Scouting Reports, and we'll be back in a moment on location with the big showdown. Stay with us.
Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet. Tuffet Muffet. She would have sat on anything, she was so wasted.
Your future is a long and winding road. There are many options, many distractions, many twists and turns you can take on the way. Your future is out there. Need directions? Weatherford College can help you get exactly where you want to go. So contact us today. At Weatherford College, our grads go places.
Al, Super Save Produce Buyer, line 1.
Dave, yeah, 20 truckloads of grade A direct from my orchards today at 20% below market price. You know, Dave, you could advertise a lower price if you bought my grade B. Yeah, but there's not that much difference. But it's good enough for your competitors. 20 truckload.
Super Save's low price gets you the good stuff.
Okay, the good stuff.
And brought him down quickly.
Well, we are just about ready for the kickoff, and we'll have Jeremy McClure to kick it off here for the champions, and the champions are lined up across the 35 and the ball at the 40, and here is Jeremy McClure. It is end over end, and it will be received at the 5-yard line. Up to the 10, the 15, and 20. A nice hole up the middle across the 30, and out to the 35 goes the deep man there for Northwest. And that will be Ty Moore, and Northwest out over the 30-yard line.
Randy, let's take a look at our defensive players tonight. Merritt, Safford, Tidwell, Such, Cope, and Day. Linebackers Carlisle, Such, McClure, Marin, Stroud, and Hammerman.
Here's the first play, and there you see the wishbone by Northwest, and maybe a yard as they go to the left side. And that was number 45, Matt Boatman. We'll see Boatman with the ball quite a bit tonight.
Randy had Michael Branch and Craig Boning combining on that stop right there, and also Darrell Clay in there. And that's the exact thing that the Roos want to do is keep this team to second and third long situations.
Gain of 1 yard. Here is a pitch back to the deep man, and he'll get another yard or two as they are able to go right up the middle, and not much as that Weatherford line, which has played so well all year long, just not giving much inside. And this is going to be really tough on Northwest. And you almost have to feel like, Mark, they're going to have to adjust a little bit. And they've had all week. They have nothing to lose. And you would think that they will come up with some big surprises before this game is over.
Well, they haven't started off that way, but of course it's going to be a long game, so we'll see what they have.
3rd and 7 from their own 37-yard line. And there is the wishbone. They have one receiver to the left side, and this is going to be stuffed immediately. And coming in, it looks like Darrell Clay was back there.
Yeah, we had
and
Scott
perhaps Safford.
Yeah, Safford, and also Jeremy McClure, who had an excellent game last week against Hazel.
So that was stopped very quickly. The first series there for Northwest.
Randy, instead of 3 yards, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, we had 3 yards and a punt.
Here is the punt and a nice spiral, very high, going back to the 22, and Colt Borland will take it.
Here we go,
Colt. Has good blocking, the 30, 35, 40. He's at midfield. He's at the 40. He is down to the 30-yard line, or close to it. Let's see where they're going to mark it. They're going to mark it at the 37. So the punt came from the 37 and 38-yard line right in there, and Borland just takes it right back.
Boy, that was a great run by Colt, and you know, we've got Colt and Garrett Hudson back there receiving those punts together, and whichever one of those players doesn't receive the punt, he goes straight into the blocking mode, Randy, and Garrett did a good job of blocking for Colt, giving him just a second to get out and get open.
And the punt return teams this year for the Roos, way ahead of the opponents. Here is Mark Pierce with the ball on a pitch out to the right side. He'll get down inside the 35 and will be stopped at the 34. And let's call that a gain of perhaps 3 yards. It'll be according to where they mark it here.
Randy, this morning, Coach McBroom described the defensive line of Northwest as being very big and very physical, and you can see on that first play that they do have a lot of size down there.
And traditionally, they've had a strong defense. They have not had the best offense in the last several years, and they haven't had the skill people. That's been one of their major problems. Here's a pass play. It's complete to Garrett Hudson, and it's dropped. They're going to say incomplete as he was hit immediately around the 30-yard line. He was out of the left flat, and over there to make the play was Nathan Moore, and he got Garrett just about the time the ball got there, and they will call it incomplete.
Well, 3rd down and 8, and the Roos coming out throwing early on in the game, giving Northwest something to think about, Randy. Is typically the Roos are primarily a rushing team, so they're going to have to at least think about our passing game.
First quarter of play, 9:16 to go, and we'll have one receiver to the right side. Here's Zach Moore. He's going to pitch out, and
here we go.
He's going to be in for a touchdown.
Oh, what a good play.
How on earth, again, did Mark Pierce get through there?
Well, he actually slipped down out there as he caught that pitch out on the left side. Zach Moore doing a good job of drawing the defense up on him, and then pitched the ball out to Mark, and who slipped a couple of times and regained his balance, and he was off to the races as soon as he got up.
So Mark Pierce will take it in from about 37 yards out, and the Roos are on top quickly. 9:05 to go in the first quarter. Jeremy McClure with Colt Borland holding, and the kick is blocked. And it'll be picked up by one of the Texans, but he is going to be rounded up by Antillion around the 10-yard line. And so the extra point attempt is no good. And it will remain 6-0 with the Kangaroos leading. We'll be right back with more Kangaroo football in just a minute.
Honey, can you pay these bills? It won't take you very long if you use Texas Banker Online.
Sure. Girls, I'll be right back.
Texas Banker Online, a simple and secure way to bank over the internet with no service charge. Now you can pay bills quickly and conveniently from the comfort of your own home with Texas Banker Online.
That was quick.
Yeah, that Texas Banker Online is really simple. Whose turn is it anyways?
Texas Banker Online, a product from Texas Bank. Plug in now.
Can I have a puppy? What do you mean Grandma's never coming back? Why does she get to stay up? Where do babies come from?
Did you smoke marijuana when you were my age?
The older they get, the more complicated the questions. Here's how to answer.
Hello, I'm Don Cressman, candidate for District Judge for the 43rd Judicial District of Texas. I'm here today to ask you to do two things. First, I want you to support the Weatherford Kangaroos. Second, I want you to vote for me on the March 14, 2000 primary for District Judge. Thanks a lot.
Back to Kangaroo football. We're in the first quarter of play here at Kangaroo Stadium. The champions are leading 6-0. 41-yard punt return by Colt Borland, and then a 37-yard run by Mark Pierce. It looked like he was slipping down in the backfield. He regained his footing and then just shot right through a hole, went all the way in for a TD, and the Kangaroos are on top. Here's the kick by McClure. This one will go up the middle again on the return across the 25 and out to around the 26-yard line. And again, bringing it back was Ty Moore. Well, we want to thank our Kangaroo sponsors for 1999, Job Site Sales, Roger Williams, the First National Bank, Weatherford Democrat, Custom Homes by Noah, Taco Bueno, Weatherford Municipal Utilities, Hardness Printing, and Sonic. Also Whataburger and the Malt Shop and Weatherford Physical Therapy. We want to thank all of those fine Kangaroo sponsors this year. 1st and 10 for Northwest. They're at their own 26.5-yard line. Here is the first play. The quarterback will keep it, and he'll get out across the 30. That will be a gain of about 5 yards, and that was Ben Kasmer, the junior quarterback, and he also plays safety on defense.
Randy, let's take a look at some of our Roos statistics for our defense. We've got our run defense here, and as you can see, that shows 174 yards average so far this year.
2nd down and 4 for Northwest. This time it will go to the first back through, and he'll take it across the 40 and will be run out of bounds over on the south sideline. And that was Darrell Clay and also Barrett Weaver over there to run him out of bounds. A gain of around 10 yards and a first down.
And Randy, it's good to see Barrett Weaver back in the lineup here. He's been out the last couple of weeks from an illness, and so he's back up and going and strong again.
1st and 10 for Northwest from their own 43. The wishbone, very tight. 2 tight ends in also. This time the quarterback will keep it. He'll go to the left side. He'll come outside his own left guard, and he'll get 2 or 3 yards out to around the 47. We'll have a 2nd down and 7 for Northwest.
Looked like we had Jared Tidwell and Keith Such in on that tackle, and also Jeremy Day, Randy.
Kangaroo defense has given up only 3 touchdowns so far or four touchdowns in the district this year, and if they do not give up a touchdown tonight, we think that might be the best record ever against 7 teams. And this will go for only about a yard as the quarterback Kasmer tries to keep it, and that is stuffed immediately also.
Yeah, we had Cashin Carlisle and Michael Branch combining on that tackle, Randy, and this is the kind of situation the Roo defensive coaches would like to see the Roos put Northwest in. We've got 3rd and 7, and with that running that wishbone as tight as it is, that's 7 yards is asking a lot of this kind of an offense.
This time they'll have a wingman to the right side, and the Kangaroos are bunched in also. They've got 10 men right there close to the line of scrimmage. Back to pass, and he is going to be sacked, and Darrell Clay was back there, and Clay got him immediately, a loss of about 6 yards on a fumble, and they're going to say the Roos have got it.
Yeah, Randy, Jared Tidwell came out of the pile there with the ball. Of course, he's kind of a one-arm player right now. He's got that big cast on his arm, but He got to the ball first and was able to hang on to it there, although you could see Northwest was scrapping with him, trying to get it out of his hands on the ground, but good job of hanging on by Jared.
And so there is a turnover, and the Roos are in good shape at the 41. 6:50 to go in the first quarter.
Well, that was a hit by Darrell, wasn't it?
He really got a hold of him and went right over the top of him. Here is Zach Moore, 40, 35, up the north sideline, down to around the 30-yard line. And Zach Moore, we've talked many times, Mark, about his ability to get outside so quickly.
Yeah, Zach showing his speed there, but also on that play, Randy, we had Chad Legale doing a good job out here on the flanker position. He was staying with his block and allowed Zach to get out there and pick up an extra 4 or 5 yards.
We want to thank Southwest Ford, Unlimited Tinning, and Jerry's for sponsoring Kangaroo football. Here's Mark Pierce with the ball. 25, 20, 15. He's at the 10, and he's Kangastride his way in for another touchdown.
My goodness.
Oh!
And that was a big hole over here on that right side. We had Joe Hosh and Jose Antillion and Michael Ross opening up a big hole on the right side. And when Mark saw that, he just took off for the end zone.
Well, Mark Pierce is starting out quickly tonight. That was a 41-yarder.
It looks like the Roos are going to go ahead and go for 2 here as they missed that first extra point. So they're going to see if they can't get it up to 14-0.
And so Mark Pierce now has 26 touchdowns. He came in with 1,453 yards rushing, and he's already got about 80. Here he goes, left side. He's going to throw a pass. He stops, and there's Garrett Hudson in the corner.
Oh, what a good play. What a good play. I sure thought he was going to run that thing.
2 points, and it is now the Kangaroos 14, Northwest nothing. We'll be right back in a minute.
Sat in the corner. Sure, smoke that much pot, and you'd be paranoid too.
In the early days of Parker County, the courthouse and square was the focus of activity. Education was important. The first high school was built in 1885 on the north end of the block, now occupied by the City Hall. The White Junior High was constructed on the site of the old Central High and was used until the new South Main School was available.
We are named Weatherford National Bank because we are Weatherford. From the rodeo to the Peach Festival to Christmas on the Square and everything in between, you'll find us there sharing in the rich heritage of Weatherford and Parker County. Come by any of our 5 offices located throughout Weatherford and Aledo, where you'll find free checking with overdraft protection, full-service mortgage department, extended lobby hours, and even Saturday banking, all the services that our customers have come to expect. Weatherford National Bank, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
And here we go, the kickoff from McClure, and again we'll see the D-man Ty Moore take it and get out across the 25-yard line, and so Northwest down quickly to the champion Roos, 14-0. And Mark Pierce, not wasting any time,
Mark Reeby? No, he's in championship form, as you can see right now, Randy, and of course the line's doing an excellent job of opening those holes. It takes two to tango. It takes that line and the running back.
And you know, on that 2-point conversion, Chad Legali was over here on the right side, and he was totally uncovered. They had nobody on him at all. And here we go with 1st and 10. The pitch back goes to the deep man. He breaks a couple of tackles. Now this guy's pretty quick. That is Matt Boatman, but he will have a first down. He almost broke that one. I have seen him go right to the middle of the line, break a couple of tackles, and go all the way for a touchdown in his career. And he does have some quickness.
And I believe that's the first down of the night for Northwest. This is their third time to have the ball, and Don Legali's telling me it's their second first down. So the Rue defense has just done a good job of stifling the Northwest offense.
6:03 left in the first quarter. Again, we will see the very tight wishbone. They'll have a tight end to the left side. Here is Kasmer keeping the ball. He'll cross the 40, the 45, and we'll get out to the 49. A good run by Ben Kasmer as he comes to the left side, and there was no fake there at all. He just took the ball, ran around his left tackle. Pretty good hole there for Kasmer.
Yeah, we had Craig Boney and Darrell Clay and also Jeremy McClure combining for the tackle there, Randy. They chased him down from the back and did a good job of holding him up before he got too far down the line.
1st and 10 for Northwest from their own 49-yard line. They trail 14-0. And here is a pitch back. And slicing over the right side between guard and tackle is, again, Nathan Moore. He'll have about 5 yards. And this is pretty basic football here. And they come back with their trap series that they use. And, you know, you don't have to tell Northwest that you have to go up the middle and be successful to get the wishbone to work, because that's basically all they do.
Yeah, they try to wear out the middle of the field.
2nd down and 5 from the Kangaroo 45. Wishbone, first man through has it, breaks a tackle or two, and he's down the sideline, the 30, down to the 20, the 10, and he's going to dive in for a touchdown. And let's see if we can get the number of this Northwest Texan. I believe it was number 24, and that would be Chris Williford. And Chris Williford also has a lot of speed. All three of those guys in the backfield for Northwest, if they break loose, they're dangerous and can go all the way.
Yes, they do have a lot of speed, Randy, and the Roos have a lot of people right up there on the line of scrimmage. So once he got through, he just had to outrun a couple of guys.
So Chris Williford takes that off the right side and broke a tackle around the 40 or 35 of Weatherford, and then got to the outside. Nice speed for Williford. And here's the extra point attempt. It is up and good, and the score is the Kangaroos 14 and the Northwest Texans 7. We'll be right back in a minute.
Your hometown bank teams up with your hometown Kangaroos to provide the support for a successful athletic year at Weatherford High School. Texas Bank, a proud sponsor of the Kangaroo Stadium scoreboard, the Sports Medicine John Deere Gator, and the new athletic training complex. Texas Bank makes the commitment to our student athletes to place them in the winner's circle. Backing our Kangaroos, banking at Texas Bank. Member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
You can find yourself living in the middle of breathtaking beauty among the wildlife of Texas at Silverado on the Brazos. This upscale, low-density equine residential development has a world-class arena, 200 box stalls, and professional trainers on site. Spectacular building sites in the Brazos River. Boating, hiking, trail riding, and coming soon, an 18-hole championship golf course. To choose your beautiful home site, call 817-341-7770.
It's always someone else's kid who smokes marijuana. Someone else's kid who's messing up in school. Someone else's kid who's having trouble at home. But what happens when someone else's kid meets your kid, talk to your kids about marijuana before someone else does.
Welcome back to Kangaroo Stadium. The 8-4A champions, the Weatherford Kangaroos, against Northwest, and Northwest has just exploded for a touchdown of 45 yards. Now, the Kangaroos have only given up one run that we can think of right now of over 50 yards, and that was to Zach Hunter in the first game. Here's a pooch kick, and over to make a nice reception was one of the Roos. I couldn't get his number. I think it was Casey Cook.
Yeah, it was Casey Cook, Randy.
And Casey made a nice reception on the pooch kick at the 35. And we might add this is Casey Cook's birthday today also. Talked to one of his, I guess that was his mom down there perhaps.
You don't suppose they're proud of old Casey, do you?
Well, it was the first thing they mentioned when you spoke with them, or when Don Legale spoke with her. All right, 1st and 10 for the Kangaroos from their own 35. 14-7 in the first quarter, and the offenses, man, they are beginning to roll quickly. Chad Legale is way over here to the right. Now, he was open on the touchdown run. It was not the 2 points. They did not have anybody covering Legale at all. Now they're going to throw it over here to Garrett Hudson. Tries to stiff arm a man around the 40-yard line, but is going to be pushed out of bounds, and that will be a gain of about 4 yards. That's according to where they mark it. They're going to mark it at the 39.
Randy, it's good to see the Roos kind of loosen things up. They're throwing the ball a little bit, and as you well know, as they spread that defense out a little bit, that just makes the running game that much more effective. So Northwest is certainly unsure of what the Roos are going to throw at them next.
Well, we just have not seen many long plays like that against the Kangaroo defense. But we certainly knew that Weatherford was capable of doing that. All three of those men in the backfield can do it.
That away, Zach.
Zach Moore, nice hard run, and carries one of the Texans across the 45 and all the way up to the 48. And that will be a first down for the Roos. We're at 4:17 to go in the first quarter. You know, and Mark, we got Todd Stroud back today. We wanted to mention that. He is suited up, or was supposed to be suited up. Do you see number 10 down on the sideline?
I have not checked for that yet, Randy.
It'd be nice to have Todd back out on the field, and the Kangaroos keep moving on in the playoffs. Here is a first down play. Zach Moore will keep the ball. Finds a hole across the 45, down to around the 42-yard line of Northwest, and that will be a gain of about 10 yards.
Yeah, it looks like we had a flag on the play, though, Randy.
And, you know, the holding penalties the last couple of weeks have been held in check by the Roos. They had a rash of them earlier on, but they have seemed to cut most of those out in the last 2 games.
Yeah, the Roos have just continued to get better and better each week, not only in the penalty area, but also in the fumble area, the turnover area. So things are improving just the way Coach McBroom would like to see them.
And the penalty will move the ball back to the 42 of Weatherford. Boy, a big crowd here again tonight to watch the champions, and boy, they deserve it. They have had a tremendous year, going for 9 wins in a row tonight. Chad Legale will come to the right side. Here is Pierce. He's going to stop the pass, and there is Legale out there. It's going to go over his head by about 2 yards. My goodness, you could just see it coming. And we just mentioned a moment ago that Legale was uncovered on the touchdown run, and it didn't take long for the Weatherford coaching staff to see that. And it was in the clear, but about a couple of yards over his head.
Yeah, just about a couple of yards. Randy, I was just watching the offensive line of the Roos that time blocking, and Joe Hosh and Jose Antillian over here on the right side doing a great job of giving the Roo back plenty of time to operate.
And they will come out in the shotgun and have 5 receivers out this time. Here's a quick pass over to Garrett Hudson. 40, has a good block. 45, midfield, still battling. Gets all the way down to the 46-yard line. And that was a good carry by Garrett. You know, Mark, if you took this sentence, Garrett Hudson is a Roo, and you just took all those letters and you redid it, you could come out with, oh, that's a great return, without adding any letters or taking any letters away. Garrett Hudson is a Roo. Oh, that's a great return.
You don't have nothing to do during the day, Randy. You know that? Oh.
I've got one on you I'm going to use too, Mark.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure if I can do it over the air, but
no.
It's third down, about 5 for the Roos. They're at the 46. And Zach Moore's going to keep the ball. Makes a great cut. 40. Down to the 38-yard line. I don't know how he got past 2 Northwest defenders right at the line of scrimmage, but he did.
Well, he had him convinced, Randy, that he was going to go around them to the outside, and as they committed to get over there and cut him off, well, Zach did a great job of just cutting back inside, and Kane Riddle doing a good job of blocking for Zach downfield.
You know, we almost take Zach Moore for credit now, Mark. Everything this season really depended on Zach and how he was going to be able to handle the position. Here is Pierce trapped in the backfield, and he's going to be stopped back around the 45 or 46-yard line. That will be a loss of about 8 or 9 yards, according to where they mark it. But we were talking about Zach Moore, and, you know, he came in a few bobbles in that first game against Stephenville, but everyone was dropping the ball in that game. We had 8 fumbles and lost 4 of them. But he picked it up very quickly. He had over 100 yards rushing against Stephenville, so it was obvious he could run with the ball, but he has been so smooth and so few mistakes. Just 1 interception, and that last week in the fourth quarter. He's done just a magnificent job, and you just can't say where this team would have been had they not had Zach Moore do what he's done this year.
You're right about that, Randy, and of course his speed combined with the speed of Mark Pierce and Garrett Hudson has just been a dominating force for the Roos offensively.
Well, Northwest toughening up somewhat right here at the 46. We'll have a second down and let's say 17 yards, 17 or 18 yards to go. And Northwest does have a very formidable defensive front. Now that probably is the best part of their team, those 4 guys across the front. They also have some good linebackers. Watson is one of the top tacklers in the area in Class 4A. The Roos come out with 3 wide receivers. Moore has the ball. He's going to pitch it out, and a nice reception on that pitch out by Garrett Hudson. I don't know how he was able to hold on to that one either. He gets down across the 45, down near the 40-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 41, where he stepped out of bounds.
Well, Garrett just caught that just on his fingertips, Randy, and was stretched out in full stride. Did a good job of hanging on to the ball and picked up, like you said, 4 or 5 yards. And the Roos have a long third down situation now, and they had all their wideouts that time, looked like.
You know, I was curious, did Mark Pierce kneel on his second touchdown or not?
I believe so.
Here is the third down play. Moore, nice pass.
That away.
Beautiful reception. Pierce, and he's got the first down at the 27. He just slanted in, and that was just a beautiful pass by Zach Moore. My goodness.
Yeah, that was pretty much just bang, bang, Randy. He knew exactly who his primary receiver was in that particular situation. And as soon as he got that ball in the shotgun, he just let her fly. And, of course, Mark is not only is he a fast back, he's a pretty good size back. He's pretty tall, maybe 6'1", 6'2", something along those lines. And he went up and caught that ball and had just enough for a first down.
First down at the 27 of Northwest. 21 seconds to go in the first quarter. Zach Moore has it. He'll run to the left side. Cut
there
himself.
He goes.
Across the 20. Down to around the 17-yard line. And Zach Moore is having a fantastic game this evening also. And, you know, he threw that ball to a spot. He actually threw the ball before or about the time that Mark Pierce made his cut.
Well, it looks like Zach may have gotten hurt on that play. They're going to have the trainers come out and take a look at him here.
Well, one thing they do not want to do is go into the playoffs with Zach Moore hurt. And he is going to come off. It does not appear to be anything too serious, but he will come off, and we'll probably see Colt Borland come in.
Yeah, Colt's done a great job at quarterback for the Roos in several instances where we've had Zach out. So, but hopefully that won't be a serious injury for Zach.
Well, that
is
the end of the first quarter. Let's take a break right here. The score, the Roos 14, Northwest 7. We'll be right back.
Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep. Well, duh. That's what happens when you get stoned.
Teamwork. That's what it's all about in football. The teams that win championships always work together. It's the same in banking. The folks at First National Bank of Weatherford work together as a team to provide the best service possible. We're the best bank in town because of teamwork. We treat all our customers as a VIP because to us, everyone is important. Come by today and see what teamwork can do for you at the First National Bank of Weatherford. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Here at Green's Florist, we strive to please our customers. Come by and see our large selection of silks, plants, cut flowers, balloons, and novelty items. Established in 1957, we're the oldest family-owned florist in Weatherford, having over 55 years of combined experience with a friendly and knowledgeable staff. We're located at 701 North Main. Give us a call at 594-2733, and we send flowers worldwide.
Welcome back to Kangaroo football on KZ 1220, your sports center. The Kangaroos are leading 14-7, and Zach Moore will be back out on the field, so evidently he shook it off, and that is a very good sign and a lot of relief, I'm sure, with all the Kangaroo fans. And we'll have I can't see the sign over there, Mark. Is it second down?
Yes, Randy.
Got a light shining right on it. I believe it's second down and about 1 yard to go as we start the second quarter. And we got a stoppage of play for a moment.
Well, looks like we're going to start in our formation, Randy, where we got the 4 wideouts again.
And they spread them out. Zach Moore back in the shotgun, and he'll throw to the right side this time, and in the flat was Garrett Hudson, and that will be incomplete as Zach got that one a little in front of him. And we'll have a third down now and 1 yard, and the Northwest Texans having a lot of trouble stopping this Kangaroo attack.
Well, Sean Bridges coming into the game again, Randy, and we've got Cash and Carlisle in there also.
You know, Sean Bridges, he's been getting in a lot of playing time, and if you watch him, Mark, he is a great blocker. He's a very good drive blocker, and he sticks with his man as good as anyone on the team. And this time someone will jump, and the Roos are going to be penalized here for offsides. 11:56 to go in the second quarter. The Roos are on top 14-7. We're going to try to keep you informed about the Denton game. Denton is playing Denton Ryan tonight, and Wichita Falls Ryder. They are playing Wichita Falls, and we will try to give you some scores on those two games. Now, if the Raiders win, the Ryder Raiders, we will play them, and we will play them right here in Kangaroo Stadium. Now, that's what we want to do. We want to get them. Now, the young man that ran all over Weatherford last year for 300 and some odd yards, he is not playing, so I can't recall his name, but we all remember what he did. And now we're going to have a timeout by the Kangaroos. Let's keep it right here, though. We've had a couple of timeouts. And Mark Reeby, when we look at the playoff situation, and you look over there in Region 1, we've got either Ryder or Denton. We also have Cleburne and Brownwood possibilities in 6-4A. Now, Plainview is already in 4-4A, and in 5-4A, it's going to be either Big Spring or Andrews. And we're going to get some games in Stephenville. We're here to win. Watch out! Hereford is in. districts. They will be represented by El Paso schools, and those schools have not been able to get beyond the Midland, Odessa, and Lubbock corridor, so we don't expect to have to play those. But there's not anybody in that group that Weatherford, if they play well, should not be able to compete with and beat.
Hey, Randy, I want to cast my vote for getting a chance to face Andrews. They knocked us off in baseball. I'd like for this football team to take a shot at them.
Well, I'm glad that Sean Williams is not still playing for them. Boy, he's up there at Texas Tech and already starting. 3rd down and 6 for the Roos. Here we go with the I formation. Borland is to the left, Legale to the right. Here is about 3 yards. Let's call it a gain of 2 right up the middle as Mark Pierce, not much inside there. And we'll have a 4th down and about 4. So the Roos,
looks like we're going to go ahead and go for it right here, Randy.
Looks like they will as they bring in Kane Riddle. And Cashin Carlisle, actually Cashin Carlisle was in for Legale that time, and Legale comes in now. 11:27 left in the second quarter. And Zach Moore will be back in the shotgun, and we'll have the spread out there again for the Roos. 4th and 4. Here is Zach Moore. Here's
That's it. That's a touchdown.
There is Garrett Hudson, and he is in for a touchdown.
He was lined up. What a good throw and a good catch.
And he was lined up over on the right side. And, you know, he ran the same pattern, I believe, Mark, that Mark Pierce ran a moment ago. He just ran it on the other side of the field. And so Zach Moore's got the range on that one. And he cut right in around the 5-yard line. And nobody close to him at all. And it is 20-7, and the Kangaroos are unleashing their passing attack tonight.
Yeah, and that's nice to see at this point in the game, Randy, because the Roos are typically known for running the ball, and we'll need to pass that ball in district play.
And here is the kick, and it's going to be blocked, and the ball is knocked all the way back out to the 20-yard line. And again, the Roos are not going to be able to get their extra point, but they've got a 20-7 lead here in the second quarter. We'll be right back right after this.
Honey, can you pay these bills? It won't take you very long if you use Texas Banker Online.
Sure. Girls, I'll be right back.
Texas Banker Online, a simple and secure way to bank over the internet with no service charge. Now you can pay bills quickly and conveniently from the comfort of your own home with Texas Banker Online.
That was quick.
Yeah, that Texas Banker Online is really simple. Whose turn is it anyways?
Texas Banker Online, a product from Texas Bank. Plug in now.
Those who dive lightly into the market today soon discover that when opportunities swim side by side with peril, it is easy to lose all sense of direction. The riskier the investment environment, the more you need the fixed income strategies of Cummer Moyers Capital Advisors. Is your investment advisor recommending Cummer Moyers for $19.99? Cummer Moyers, managing money, earning trust.
Pete's Place, this is Egan. May I help you?
On June the 1st, 1976, it was my opportunity to walk in the front door of the Pizza Place in Weatherford, Texas. At that time, you could get the lunch special, which is a small cheese pizza, a salad, and a drink for only 95 cents. There's been a lot of things that have changed in Weatherford, Texas in the last 23 years, but there's one thing that's always remained constant. The Pizza Place and the Weatherford Kangaroos have always been a perfect combination.
Now, and we'll have Jeremy McClure and the kickoff team again as the Roos offense running all over the Northwest defense. And I think the score in last year's game was 44-34 or something like that, and we may be doing that again. Here's a very high end-over-end kick, and the short man on the left side will take it across the 20 and 25 and out to the 28, where he is wrapped up, and that was Sean Hedges with the ball for Northwest, and again the kickoff team down there quickly,
Yeah,
as they have been all year.
Kane Riddle and Chad Legale down there fast and closing in to make that tackle.
They have held the opponent inside the 30-yard line so many times. And I wonder if we're going to see any mad start dances tonight, Mark.
I would think it's...
They may have some later on in the game.
A definite possibility.
First and 10 for Northwest from their own 28. And the Kangaroos have got 8 men in the box. And there is Weatherford. And Weatherford will get about 3 yards. And he is dangerous because he can break through that front there and go all the way. And he was tripped up near the line of scrimmage, but fell forward for about 3 or 4 yards. They'll mark it at the 32.
Well, we do have a lot of roos in a very small area there, Randy, doing everything we can to shut that wishbone down.
And they've got 2 men out. They are really opening it up now. Still in the wishbone. 2nd and 6. And the quarterback will keep it this time to the right side. He'll have a first down across the 35, the 40. And Kasmer finds a good hole. Northwest can move the ball. And they like to control it. They like to get 5 yards here, 3 yards there. Get a couple of yards and break one for 6 yards. And that is the way they have been doing this now. This is the 3rd year I know that they have been running this offense.
You know, Randy, I'd like to go back to that. I think Craig Boney tackled the fullback, realized he didn't have the ball, came around and tackled the quarterback.
Eventually got the right one then. 1st and 10 from the 45. And this will go to the inside man. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage immediately. And I believe that was Weatherford again. It was. And a gain of about a yard at the 46.
Yeah, we had the whole front of the defensive line in on that tackle. Scott Safford and Keith Such, Michael Branch. And one thing that you notice about these roos, as Don just mentioned about Craig, is that if they're not in on the play immediately, they'll keep chasing that ball till they do get the runner.
And they have 6 men across the front now, 2nd and 9. Again, 2 receivers out, and Weatherford is going to be stuffed, and I mean stuffed. And over there is Keith Such and also Safford.
And Mike Branch on that too.
And Branch.
Just a great job.
This defense for Weatherford, we've been talking about the mad starts, but you know, on the inside you got Safford, Tidwell, and people like Such and Clay. Those guys are kind of the mad dogs. Time, low slung, tough, mean.
They will get after them.
And then you got those guys surrounded by the mad storks. 3rd down, 10 for Northwest. Again, 2 receivers out from the wishbone. Here's Kasmer, and they'll throw a pass down the sideline, and it's going to be just over Borland, and it went right through the hands, I believe, of the wide receiver over on the left side. That is Kent Disher. Incomplete, and 4th down now, and we'll see the Texans punt.
Well, Colt had real good coverage that time, Randy. If that ball had been very much lower, he'd have had a good chance to intercept that. Colt's got good jumping ability, as we've seen earlier in this year. I think he's got 5 or maybe 6 interceptions so far this year, and he would have had a good chance to intercept that.
Well, we're not going to see Northwest punt because there was a penalty flag over there on that play, and I don't know if they got Colt for holding or pass interference, but it is a 1st down for Northwest at the Weatherford 40.
I don't know about that.
8:44 left, 20-7. Weatherford leading. And here, Kasmer tripped up in the backfield, and there's Shane Weeks. And also back there was Cashin Carlisle crashing through.
Well, we're really hitting them hard at the point of attack, Randy, right now. The Roos are doing a good job of stuffing the fullback, and when they do that, it seems to be really messing up the backfield for Northwest.
2nd and 11 for Northwest from the 42, and this time the fullback, Williford, will get it, and he'll get across the 35 and down to the 34 as he goes off right tackle. And Williford gets through there very quickly, Mark.
He does, but just as quickly coming up was Mike McDaniel and Chuck Wilkie, and they really lowered the boom on him that time. Both those guys hit the runner very hard.
And this is a typical Northwest drive. Of course, it's been helped along by the penalty a moment ago. 3rd down and 4. Ball at the 33. First man through is Weatherford. He'll take it, and he'll get about 2 yards. It will not be a first down, so we'll have a 4th down play and about 1.5.
Randy, you see a lot of times everybody has tendency to watch the play where the ball actually ends up. At that time, Cashin Carlisle, his assignment was a quarterback, and even though the quarterback had handed the ball off to the fullback, Cashin wrapped the quarterback up and let him know he was there.
4th down, here we go. Northwest will go for it. Tight ends are in this time from the wishbone. Here is the play, and that will be a first down as it goes to Weatherford again to the right side off right tackle. And they'll mark this one at the 29.
Well, that offensive line of Northwest has got enough bulk on it that holding Northwest to 1 yard or 2 yard gain is going to be very hard for the Rue defense to do right now.
Jeremy Day will come out, and they'll bring in Jason Such on the left end. And then McClure, the Sam linebacker, will be outside of him. Northwest will go to the left side. Here's Casmer, and he's going to be crashed down, first of all, by Wilkie, who has him by the ankles. Then he runs into one of his own men, and he goes down at the 28, a gain of 1 yard.
Yeah, Chuck doing a good job of getting up quick on that quarterback and holding the Northwest Texans to a very short gain.
And now we'll see Keith Such come out. Well, you know, he is tough. There's some of these guys like Shanahan and Keith Such, Sanford, Tidwell. Those are the kind of guys, if you did happen to get in a fight, it would be nice to have them on your side. I mean, you don't go out and pick a fight, but say you walked out a back door somewhere, you were confronted. First man through will be Weatherford again from the right side, and they'll gain about 3 or 4 yards again, but perhaps 5. And we'll mark it at the 24, and it's just 3 yards here, 4 yards there. They control the ball. They take a lot of time off the clock. In fact, if they hadn't taken as much time off as they have, Weatherford might have 30 points by now.
Yeah, that's right. They're keeping the offense of the Roos on the sideline, which is probably their best defense.
3rd and 4. Again, they have no wide receivers in. They have 2 tight ends. And here is the deep back, and he'll move down close to the first down. It won't be enough outside the 20, and we'll have another 4th down play, I'm sure, as Northwest will go for it here.
Yeah, Randy, looks like he's just a little bit short, and we've got some statistics here on 4th down defense. And as you can see, the Roos have had an excellent conversion here, stopping them 60% of the time.
4th and 1, and the Texans will go for it again. Here we go. Into the middle of the line, and with a first down.
Get him,
and he's going to break through at the 10. The 5 is going to go all the way in for a touchdown.
Yeah, we had
and it looked
flag,
like he was stopped right there. And we do have a flag down. That was Matt Boatman again, and he looked like he was stopped around the 15, and then suddenly just broke through there. But this one will come back.
It's some kind of a hold or something along those lines, Randy, because he got too free too quick.
Well, that will take a touchdown off the board for the Texans. We're at 4:49 to go in the second quarter. The score is 20-7 in favor of the Roos.
And we go from 4th and 1, Randy, to 4th and 11, something along those lines.
And they're going to mark it at the 30, and you're right, Mark, it will be 4th down and 11. And let's see if they try to run this one. You almost have to think they'll have to try a pass. Well, they're going to think about it for a while and take a timeout. Let's take a timeout too. 20-7, the Kangaroos over Northwest. We'll be right back.
I just don't want to. I think a lot of kids smoke pot. I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't. Why do I have to be so different? Different. Maybe we're not as different as we think.
First National Bank of Weatherford is excited about the 1999 Weatherford High School season. Since 1880, the First National Bank of Weatherford has provided friendly and reliable service to the folks in Weatherford and surrounding area. We wish all of the players, cheerleaders, band members, and fans success in all they do in 1999. Come by and visit with your personal banker at First National Bank of Weatherford, member FDIC and equal housing lender. In the early 1900s through the 1950s, Weatherford was known as the watermelon capital of the world. Farmers brought wagon loads of large melons to sell to visitors passing through the square. The watermelon that most people remember being in Weatherford was this one on the south side of the square, constructed for a parade around the courthouse. Weatherford was the watermelon capital of the world.
And 11 at the Kangaroo 30-yard line, and we're going to see them go for a field goal. And this field goal, if they attempt it, will be for 47 yards. And let's see who the player is. Here's the kick. It's going to be blocked and picked up by Barrett Weaver at the 30, 40, midfield, and looks like he'll be down around the 49-yard line and blocked, and I didn't see who got the block.
Well, it looked like it was Colt Borland got the block on that, Randy.
Andy Rodenberg was the kicker for Northwest, and somebody broke right through the line. Nice block, and the ball hit the ground, bounced very high in the air. There was Barrett Weaver, took it up the north sideline, and they finally caught him at the 46 of Northwest.
Well, let me correct myself on that. I said it was Colt that got the block. I really don't know, Randy. I thought you were talking about the block for Barrett as he was running down the field. I'm not sure who actually blocked the field goal itself.
So 4:31, and again, the Roos bending a little bit, but stopping Northwest. Here's Zach Moore running the right side, trying to find a hole, can't find one, and will be upended right at the line of scrimmage down on the south side of Kangaroo Stadium as he went right down the line. And over there to make the tackle, that was Charlie Gafford.
Well, that was about a 15-yard run to pick up a half a yard.
Well, the Roos, so far, Northwest has not been able to stop this Kangaroo attack when they have stopped the run. Kangaroos went to the passing attack, and now they have 2 touchdown passes by Zach Moore, both of them, to one to Mark Pierce and one to Garrett Hudson. 2nd and 10, 3:48 to go in the second quarter. Zach Moore will pitch it back to Pierce. He's going to run to the left side, looking for a block. Finds it, 40, 35, 30, and run out of bounds. Nice blocking on the left side. And again, Mark Pierce just shoots through the hole.
Well, look how many guys are downfield blocking for Mark. Of course, he's led around that left end by Zach Moore, but you've got all the all the offensive line down there in front of him. You've got Bradley Simmons beating him down there, and you've got Joe Hosh and Jason Such. They're just all getting down into the secondary, blocking as hard as they can for Mark Pierce.
Kangaroos looking for their 9th straight victory. That has happened only one time in over 100 years of Kangaroo football. 1965, they will tie that team if they win tonight. Here's a throw pass, a quick one. Left side is Pierce. Was lined up as a wide receiver. He took a couple of steps back, but the pass a little high, and we'll have a 2nd down and 10 from the Northwest 29-yard line. 3:33 to go in the second quarter. We have a score for you. Wichita Falls High 17. Wichita Falls Ryder nothing. That's in the second quarter. And if that continues in that fashion and Wichita Falls High wins that, we will play Denton. And we will play Denton at Farrington Field. We won the toss today against the Denton Broncos, and we will not have to play them on artificial turf. Zach Moore looking for a receiver, and it is caught by Legale at the 15, and he's going to be run out around the 12-yard line. And again, he had somebody all over him and was able to hold on to it right near the sideline and spun away from that tackler.
Boy, that was a great catch, wasn't it? Right on the edge, and kept both feet in bounds, did a good job.
Well, you know, Chad is able to catch the ball when people are draped over him. And it seems like when he's in the clear, the ball doesn't come to him.
And Randy,
goes over his head.
I think we're going to have another 4 or 5 yards added on here because of a personal foul over there on the sideline.
Well, that will move the ball down to the 8-yard line. They'll call it the 7-yard line. 3:22 to go. And again, the Roos just marching downfield against the Texans. And they have a first and goal now. The Roos are moving to the east here at Kangaroo Stadium. Here's the pitch out. Pierce, he's looking for another touchdown. Will he get it? No, nope, it's going to be down around the 3 as they swept left. Good pursuit there by Northwest. That never opened up very well, and what he just got on his own.
Well, we had Sean Bridges in there on the left side, Randy at tight end, and also Joe Hosh and Jose Antillion doing a good job of blocking for Mark out there. Picked up.
And, you know, we're going to do this. We're going to have Don Legale over here, and we're also going to have you, Mark, and myself. We're going to come up with the best hit of the year, best run of the year, best catch, best block, best animated response. And we'll have all that for you in the first playoff game.
Best prediction. Here it is.
Here's the pitch out to Pierce, and he's just going to slide in very easily for a touchdown. And now the Kangaroos have moved on top here in the second quarter, 26-7. That was the pitch sweep to the right side, and good blocking over there. And no doubt about that one from the time he got his hands on the ball.
Randy, great execution there by Zach Moore as he forced the defensive player to close on him. He makes a good pitch, and Chad Legale doing a good job of blocking out there on the right side. And, of course, with the speed that Mark Pierce has, he just kind of strolls into the end zone.
26-7, the Roos will go for 2, and they will have an ace backfield. One man back, that is Pierce. They'll take 2 receivers way out wide. Here's a pitch, going to be reversed, and it is. And here goes Cashin Carlisle, makes a cut, and he's going to step in there for 2. Oh, man. Looked like he was trapped at the 5-yard line. He kept on his feet, and he was stumbling around, but somehow was able to just get over the line. And the Roos have got a 28-7 lead. We'll be right back with more Roo football in just a minute.
Honey, can you pay these bills? It won't take you very long if you use Texas Banker Online.
Sure. Girls, I'll be right back.
Texas Banker Online, a simple and secure way to bank over the internet with no service charge. Now you can pay bills quickly and conveniently from the comfort of your own home with Texas Banker Online.
That was quick.
Yeah, that Texas Banker Online is really simple. Whose turn is it anyways?
Texas Banker Online, a product from Texas Bank. Plug in now.
Dennis Connolly and Associates at Weatherford Physical Therapy have been serving and supporting Parker County since 1982. Their new location is at 1404 South Main, next to the Golden Moon. Weatherford's only privately owned rehabilitation clinic specializing in physical, occupational, and speech therapy. The latest equipment demonstrates their commitment to quality personal care. For all your sports medicine, spine, and orthopedic rehab needs, call 341-3600. Weatherford Physical Therapy Services.
Hi, I'm Shannon Carney, and this is my sister Stacy of Vic, Cressman, and Carney.
Hi, this is Laura Cressman from Vic, Cressman, and Carney.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Vick of Vic, Cressman, and Carney.
Together, we are Vic, Cressman, and Carney, and we support the Kangaroos.
Oh yeah, there is that other Vic, Cressman, and Carney, and they support the Roos too.
Champions are on top, 28-7. Second quarter over Northwest, pooch kick. And this will go very short and will be received around the 42 or 3 yard line of Northwest, and he will fall all the way forward to the 45. And there to pick up that pooch kick for Northwest was Bert Middleton.
Randy, after all the success that the Roos have had this year, they're not having any trouble getting the fans to stand up on all the kickoffs. I mean, the fans are standing up, shaking those bottles with rocks or marbles or whatever's in them and making as much racket as they can and really supporting the Roos.
28-7, the Roos are leading. Northwest has the ball at their own 45 from the wishbone. Here's Kasmer, meshes it, takes it out, keeps it himself, right side, 50-yard line, run out of bounds by Wilkie and also Cashin Carlisle. Keith Such was there.
Yeah, Keith
209.
Keith Such did a great job of moving laterally down the line of scrimmage and ran the quarterback down.
1:58 left before half. And the Weatherford side over here, boy, I'll tell you, this is another just huge crowd out to see the 8-4A district champions. 2nd and 4. Weatherford has it. He's going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage, and in comes the bone crusher, Craig Boney. He was right on top of him there.
Well, that was, we had Cashin Carlisle hit him low, and Craig Boney hit him high, and he didn't have a chance, did he?
And he fell quickly. 3rd down and 5.
No gain.
This time we'll see an ace formation. Kasmer has it, throws one over the middle, that'll be caught. Nice job. Down to the 35-yard line goes Boatman. It's a little slant-in pattern, and that's the way Northwest does it right there.
Well, Chuck Wilkie doing a good job of making a saving tackle.
They got their quick man at the line of scrimmage on this ace formation. They're doing it again.
Here it goes.
They're going to try the same play, and
there you go, out of ball.
And Kasmer's going to go down, and that is Jeremy Day. And are we going to see it or not? We're not going to see it, folks. There will be no mad stork flap on that one, but he got him back at the 45.
Boy, Jeremy did a great job of tracking him down. Then he shed his block and ran that quarterback down and had several of the Root players hot on his heels.
You know, Jeremy Day, he was thinking about it. You could tell he was kind of strolling. And
you're egging him on now, Randy. Which is okay.
2nd down and 11, and a big play there by Jeremy Day. The left defensive end for the Roos. We're down to 57 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter, and it is 28-7.
Well, with the score being 28-7, Randy, Northwest can't continue to try to operate the way they have in the past with their ball control offense. They're going to have to start throwing the ball some, and that's going to give some of our defensive backs a chance to add to their interception total. So kind of looking forward to seeing that.
So perhaps Cole Borland and Wilkie and Barrett Weaver back there will have some more opportunities. The Roos have intercepted 10 passes this year, and they've only had one pass intercepted, and that was by Azel in the 4th quarter last week. Here is Callaway going back, and he's got a man in the clear on the left side crossing, and the pass will go over his head, and that could have been a big gain there for the Northwest Texans, but Rodney Thompson had it to go right off his fingertips.
Well, and he really would have liked to have held on to that ball a little longer, Randy, but he didn't have any kind of, he really didn't have a choice because Jared Tidwell was closing in on him and actually hit him right as he threw the ball. So he didn't have as much time as he'd like, thanks to Jared.
This time the Northwest Texans will come out in the flexbone ace formation. They'll throw a long pass, but it'll be about 10 yards over the head of Boltman up the north sideline. And this is what Azel had a problem with last week. You know, you run that wishbone, and it's just not designed to throw the ball. And it's hard to catch up when you haven't been doing that, and you have to get out and start throwing it downfield.
I think he was throwing to that photographer down there, Randy, and you just can't do that. When the photographer's out of bounds, you can't throw to him.
Well, that's what I started to say. The photographer down there is out of bounds, so wouldn't have counted. So 45 seconds left, and we'll have a punt here on 4th down, and it's end over end, goes back to Garrett Hudson at the 6, 10,
look out,
20, and almost breaks away, as getting it by the ankles was Rodney Thompson, or Garrett Hudson would have had, a great return.
Oh, a great return, that's right.
So the Roos will start out from the 22. They'll have only 36 seconds, and more than likely we'll see Zach Moore kneel down here with the 28-7 lead over Northwest. And at halftime, we'll talk about some of the Kangaroo records that we believe will be broken. We do admit we do not have all of the records. We have some years missing, but talking to some of the older Kangaroo fans, not much happened in the years that we have missing. Here's Zach Moore running to the right side, and he'll get out to the 30-yard line, and it will be close to the first down with 25 seconds. The clock is still running. It will be short of the first down. They'll mark it at the 30-yard line, and it's running down to 16 seconds.
Randy, looked like Zach really did intend to throw that ball downfield on that play, and the pocket kind of collapsed on him, and he used his speed to get outside and picked up 9 yards, even on a somewhat of a busted play.
We want to thank the Mesquite Pit, also Southwest Ford, First National Bank, Jerry Chevrolet for sponsoring Kangaroo football as the time runs off here in the first half, and a big, big first half for the Roos. Offense just exploding. It's 28-7, champions over Northwest. We'll be right back.
I'm Troy Noel. I was married to Brad Noel, the singer of Sublime. Brad died of a heroin overdose. Jake's been robbed of having a wonderful person to be his father. Educate yourself. Heroin kills, period. We miss him, and we'll miss him forever, and don't let anyone miss you.
Weatherford National Bank, growing with Weatherford. We started in College Park and continued to expand into 5 offices located throughout Weatherford and Aledo. No matter where you live, chances are that you are close to one of our offices. Take advantage of our customer-friendly services, free checking with overdraft protection, full-service mortgage department, extended lobby hours, and even Saturday banking. Weatherford National Bank. We kept growing until we became a part of Weatherford's history. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Trinity Paint and Body, owned by Bo Winstead, is located at 1600 Fort Worth Highway. They are known for their fast and superior service. Since opening in April of 1998, they are already having to expand their existing location due to the high volume of business. For great hometown service and a friendly staff, call Trinity Paint and Body, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. And remember, for high-quality service, Bo knows.
Northwest kicking off from the 40-yard line, kicking west here at Kangaroo Stadium. It is a pooch kick. It's going to hit around the 35. The Roos are going to have to try to pick it up around their own 25. And let's see who fell on the ball. There's a huge pile out there, and Northwest has the ball, I believe. Let's see what they call. They're going to say Northwest recovered it.
I don't know about that, Randy. I don't think they knew who had the ball.
Well,
we got Ricky.
One thing is for sure, the Northwest does have it at the Kangaroo 25. And those pooch kicks, if you let them hit the ground, they can be a lot of trouble. And that one hit And it was a very short pooch kick. I think it originally hit around the 35, of Weatherford. So, nonetheless, Northwest has it at the Kangaroo 25. First play will go to Casimir, and he's going to be down as Michael Branch comes in.
Yeah, Chuck Wilkie did a good job of helping on that play also. The Rue defense came out pretty well fired up there, Randy.
You know, he is Michael Branch. You know, we call them Mad Starks, the defensive ends, because of their height. But, you know, he is built. He is a strong young man. And Jason Such, who is playing on the left side, is too. Yeah, and Jason Such somewhere around 6'5". So we have a second down for Northwest. Pitch back to the deep man. He'll get down to the 20 before he's pushed back. There comes Tidwell. Down also was Kane Riddle. And we've talked about Kane Riddle's ability and his speed out there.
He will hit you, won't he, Randy?
He throws everything he has. He'll leave the ground, and everything he's got is in the air. And he can lay a hit on anybody. 3rd and 5. Northwest from the 20 of Weatherford. They'll have a wingman to the left side, and he'll be in motion. Here is a handoff, and he's going to be stuffed immediately as they try to go to the right side, and there is Kane.
Well, Kane just read that play perfectly that time and swooped in from the left side and hit the runner just as he was taking the handoff and set up a long 4th down play, Randy.
Just underway here in the 3rd quarter. The Kangaroos have got a 28-7 lead, but they are not able to get under the kickoff on a pooch kick that hits and bounced straight upfield. The Northwest Texans were able to recover it, and they have a 4th down now and 5 yards to go. Here it is, and it's going to go to the second man through. He's going to be stopped short. And there is Boney, and there is also Wilkie. And this one's going over, folks. And again, the Rouge have stopped inside the 20, the opponent. And I don't know how many times that has happened this year.
Well, that was a great play by the Rue defense. Come out and have that ball show up on the 28 or 27-yard line to start off with, and then to hold Northwest. They didn't even get a first down on that drive, Randy.
So the Rouge want to stay focused right here. They want to continue to play well. They don't want to lose their composure here in the second half, thinking about the game next week between either Denton or Ryder. Right now it looks like it's going to be Denton. Here's Zach Moore. Gets across the 20-yard line as he keeps it. Goes to the left side, and just a hand put out by one of the Texans just trips him up, and I believe that was Tony Gamron who was out there to trip him up. 9:33 to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll have a second down at about 4. The ball is placed at the 22.
Well, Randy, when you get tripped up in the backfield and you still make 7 yards, I'd say that's a play that most coaches would like to have in their playbook.
Offset to the right side with 2 receivers out. Here's Moore. He's going to throw a pass. He's got Garrett.
Garrett.
He's at
go, baby, go.
He's at the 30.
Go, Garrett, go.
10, 5. That is another Rue touchdown.
Well, Randy, obviously the coaching staff of the Kangaroos have decided that they can throw against Northwest. And that one play, I think you said Mark Pierce was open on that earlier, and we had Garrett open that time, and Zach did a great job of laying it out there for him to run under.
Garrett didn't have to slow up one step. He had 2 steps on every defender, and he had those 2 steps when he crossed the end zone at the other end. Great play.
And we shall not say anything about the Kangaroo passing attack after today. They have passed for 3 touchdowns and well over 100 yards right now. Here is the snap to Borland. The kick is up by McClure, and he will send it through. And now it is 35-7 in favor of Weatherford. We'll be back with more Kangaroo football in just 1 minute.
Your hometown bank teams up with your hometown Kangaroos to provide the support for a successful athletic year at Weatherford High School. Texas Bank, a proud sponsor of the Kangaroo Stadium scoreboard, the Sports Medicine John Deere Gator, and the new athletic training complex. Texas Bank makes the commitment to our student athletes to place them in the winner's circle. Backing our Kangaroos, banking at Texas Bank. Member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
Second touchdown pass.
9:05 to go in the third, and it's 35-7. Bring us back quickly.
We're just getting started, man.
Boy, this could be up in the 50s for the.
Yep.
Jeremy McClure back to kick. Here is the kick, and he will pooch it to the right side. And a fair catch is called by Northwest. Rodney Thompson's over there to receive it. And neither team wanted to kick the ball deep here in this game.
Well, that was a smart, fair catch, Randy, because Kane Riddle and Cashin Carlisle were both bearing down on him and just about to leave their feet as his hand went up, and they both held up, or he'd have been smashed.
Well, we want to make a correction. I mentioned a moment ago that the Roos have 3 touchdown passes, but actually one of those passes to Mark Pierce, that was a 2-point conversion, so they have 2 touchdown passes in this game. 9 minutes to go. Northwest with the ball thrown, 35. Running to the right side on a pitch out, and picking up about 6 yards is Nathan Moore for Northwest, and Wilkie is over there to make the tackle. Wilkie, a very sure-handed tackler for the Roos. We'll have a second down and about 5 yards to go. We also, I believe, have a penalty on the play. And we haven't had too many penalties in this game. It's been played pretty well by both sides, pretty cleanly. And let's see what they'll do here. I think this is going to be a holding penalty against Northwest. And they're asking the Roos what they want to do. They certainly want to take the penalty here. And now they're going to mark it back with 8:53 to go in the third quarter. The Roos are up on top 35-7 right now. Wichita Falls is defeating Ryder 17-0, and if that holds up, then we will see the Roos in Farrington Field. As we understand it right now, the Roos did win the toss with Denton. If those two teams play, and it will be the Denton Broncos in Farrington Field next week. And I don't know if that's been, if they've had picked a time. Probably not. Here's the quarterback going back. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 15.
That was Shane Weeks coming around this left side, Randy. He did. I don't even think he got blocked. Shane just was at a full sprint as he went around that left side and just crashed into the quarterback. And after that penalty, it was second and 25 or so, and now that's another 5-yard loss or so back for Northwest.
Shane Weeks getting through there quickly that time as he blitzed right through, and we'll have a second down. And long yardage here for Northwest. They'll have to pass, and they've got one to Thompson around the 25, and he's going to be down immediately as Barrett Weaver is over there to make a good tackle on Thompson. And now we'll have a 4th down play for Northwest, or it will be 3rd down. And let's see how many yards. They've got 21 yards to go.
Well, there's not many plays in your playbook for a 21-yard pickup on third down, is there, Randy?
Well, especially against the Rue defensive backs, you've got to pass in a situation like this if you want to give yourself a fair chance to get it. Here we go, 3rd and 21. They will come out in the wishbone, fake inside. Casmer goes back. He has a receiver, but he's going to overshoot him around the 35. And following the receiver was Darrell Clay. Yeah, out there was Nathan Moore for Northwest, and so we'll have a 4th down play, and the Roos hold, and they will get the ball back with 7:09 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, good job by the Roo defense, Randy. We didn't even bend that time. We just put the stops to the Northwest Texans.
Rodenberg will punt, and it's a wobbly punt, but gets good yardage. Caught by Borland at the 35, and he's going to slip down as he tries to make his cut. And the Roos will take this one from their own 35-yard line.
We just seem to see Garrett and Colt trading punts back there. One will receive one time, and the other one will receive it the other time. And that time, as Colt received that punch, you could see Garrett kind of lining up and watching the runners coming down to try to tackle, and Garrett just put one of them flat on their back with a good block.
Offense exploding tonight for the Roos. They lead it 35-7, and you know they've been averaging 319 yards rushing, and during our searches at the library and a few other sources, we have not found a Kangaroo team that has averaged over 300 yards rushing in a season. Zach Moore back to pass, and he is looking for Hudson, and the Roos are airing it out tonight as that one went about 45 yards in the air, but it was over the head of Hudson as he ran down the left sideline. The Roos are going from west to east here in Kangaroo Stadium. We've got a good breeze of about 15 miles an hour that's coming out of the south, and it blew that ball, I think, Mark, out of bounds.
Well, and that was a long throw, and Garrett was in full stride down there, and he had to been another couple of yards upfield to even had a chance at that one. We've got Jermaine Leslie coming into the game for the Roos. Randy over here on our tight end.
And you know, when Jermaine comes in, it's just like having another tackle on that front line with his size. Moore back to pass again, and he's in trouble. Gets away from Thompson, though, and he's going to run to his right. Throws a pass. Down there is Legale. He usually catches these, and he's got it at the 35. And what are they going to call? They're going to call it back. He was out of bounds.
Well, Chad didn't stop on the play, even though he was right at the edge of the out of bounds. He went up, caught the ball, and did get knocked out of bounds by the defensive back, but apparently, and as far away as that is, we can't really see very well, but apparently he was going to be out of bounds anyway.
And what I meant that he usually catches these types of passes. If somebody's draped over him, you know he's going to catch it.
That's kind of his specialty, isn't it? That and the one-arm catch, the one-handed catch.
3rd down, and Zach Moore has just been going back and heaving them, and this is exactly what I think everyone wanted to see to show Ryder or Denton and some of the other teams in the playoffs and get those defenses loosened up a little bit before we start into the playoffs. And, well, this is a good thing for Weatherford. We're going to have a 5-yard penalty here as perhaps a delay of game. It will be 3rd and 15. The ball is at the 30-yard line of the Kangaroos. And we look at the offensive season totals this year. The Roo offense, 2,872 yards rushing, 384 yards passing coming in, and that's a total of 3,256 yards. And that may be a record also. Well, 6:43 left. Here is Zach Moore. He's going to fake a pitch to Pierce and go to the right side. Has a good hole. He'll get out across the 35, but it will not be enough for a 1st down, and we'll probably see Garrett Hudson come in and punt here with about 6:20 to go.
I believe this will be Garrett's first punt of the night.
Well, you know, he doesn't punt that often. They've never had more than 4 punts in a game this year. That's it. They just don't have to punt the way this offense is moving the ball. And I believe this is the first time they've been stopped at all. Is that right, Don? This is the first time the Roos have been stopped tonight. And that's with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here's the snap. And, oh, a very high punt. There'll be no return on this one. And a nice reception by Ty Moore for Northwest at the 35. And the excitement just continues to build. The Roos are on their way right now, unless we have a huge comeback by Northwest to their 9th straight win. And that will equal the all-time best record for a Kangaroo season. And also, it will be it will tie the all-time number of consecutive victories in the regular season. Here's Northwest with Casimir carrying it. He fakes inside, runs to the left, goes out left tackle, and will be tackled around the 40-yard line. So a gain of about 5 yards.
Well, Casimir is quick, but he just can't elude the grasp of Keith Such out there. Keith doing a good job of running him down. He's starting off with a little of a disadvantage having to fight through those blockers, but Keith fighting the blockers off and chasing him down for the tackle.
Okay, it's called 950. He called 959 huddle.
He faked by 4 touchdowns. This is not a catch-up offense. They have one receiver to the right side that will be in the flex bone. We'll have a man in motion. He'll get the ball. He'll shoot straight upfield, and a nice run as he gets to midfield. And he'll be tackled there by Chuck Wilkie and also Darrell Clay. And, you know, let's go ahead and add, Mark had mentioned the 1976 Pee Wee champions, the Longhorns of 1976. On that team was Keith Carlisle, Tate Chesney, Cody Riddle, Jimmy Bridges. I bet there's some connections there with some of today's players on the 99 team. That team was undefeated.
Familiar names.
1st and 10. Casimir, and he's going to be pounced on immediately as he fakes inside and tries to go to the left. And over there is Jason Such and also
Michael Branch.
Michael Branch. And Such and Branch, they are some big, tall guys there on the front line.
That's a good combination, isn't it?
And you compliment those two guys on the inside, Tidwell and Sanford, so well. Teams not able to move through that defense of the Roos very well this year. And here's a quick handoff, and that is going to be Weatherford, 50, 45, 40, down to the 30 before he's finally knocked out of bounds. And Weatherford, good speed. He has explosive speed. He breaks through a hole quickly.
He is fast, and Chuck Wilkie doing a good job of getting an angle on him and chasing him down.
And the Roos will have to stop the Northwest Texans this time. We have a first down inside the 30. They'll mark it to the 28. Flexbone again with one receiver to the right side. Here's Casimir, and Casimir won't get much as Hammerman comes in and hammers Weatherford. Casimir pulls the ball back out, and then Sanford makes the tackle right near the line of scrimmage. They'll say a gain of 2 as they mark it at the 26 of the Roos.
Well, Clint Hammerman did a great job there staying with his man and wrapped him up, put him on his back.
2nd down and 8. Flanker to the left side. Handoff goes to Weatherford again. He finds a slight hole. Doesn't take much of a crease for Weatherford, and he'll move to the 21-yard line.
Randy, this ball control offense that Northwest runs was very evident last night in the JV game, where in the second quarter we only had 6 offensive plays in the entire quarter by the Roos. They like to hang on to that ball.
3rd down from the flex bone. One receiver to the left side. They need 3 yards. Here is Casimir. He'll hand it off to Weatherford, who gets about 5. That will be a first down. It is not Weatherford with the ball. Well, let's see who it is. Can't see his number right now. Yes, it is Weatherford. So a first down for Northwest, and they're down to the 15-yard line.
Well, Craig Bonin caught him by the ankles that time and just hung on for dear life. So we've bent a little bit here, Randy. It's time to go ahead and stop them.
Well, you know, the Roos have not given up 2 touchdowns to a district team this year. 1 touchdown to Castleberry, Mineral Wells, and also 1 touchdown to Brewer. And we want to stop them right here. They certainly don't want to give up 2 to Northwest. So we have a timeout right now. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second timeout. The score, the Kangaroos, 35, Northwest 7. We'll be right back.
Can I have a puppy? What do you mean Grandma's never coming back? Why does she get to stay up? Where do babies come from?
Did you smoke marijuana when you were my age?
The older they get, the more complicated the questions. Here's how to answer.
First National Bank of Weatherford is excited about the 1999 Weatherford High School season. Since 1880, the First National Bank of Weatherford has provided friendly and reliable service to the folks in Weatherford and surrounding area. We wish all of the players, cheerleaders, band members, and fans success in all they do in 1999. Come by and visit with your personal banker at First National Bank of Weatherford. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
They dress him up like a ghost and he's looking through and it's Halloween and he's walking around like this.
My parents told me to go swimming and I was like, no.
You love watching movies, and Blockbuster thinks you should be rewarded for that with Blockbuster Rewards, where the more movies you rent, the more free ones you get. Plus, get a free Blockbuster Favorites movie every month.
He got on top of that bomb just like it was a horse. He was going to ride that rascal all right on into where it was going.
Join Blockbuster Rewards today and go home happy.
Stadium. The Weatherford Kangaroos have got a 35-7 lead here in the 3rd quarter over Northwest. And the Northwest Texans right now have the ball at the 15. And they will have a first down at the 15-yard line on the Roos. Let's look at the Kangaroos' red zone defense.
Come on, defense!
Yeah, opponents have had 20 opportunities. And the Kangaroos have stopped them 9 times. Here we go. First and 10. Again, the flex bone. Casmer inside goes a handoff to Williford. He just spins around and hands it to Williford. He goes right over the center. And about 3 yards on that play, down to the 12. Second down and 7.
Well, Jason Tidwell and Scott Safford and Craig Boney all combining on that tackle. And that's a little more that 3 yards and a cloud of dust approach that now Northwest likes to take.
Well, they can eat up a lot of time, and thank goodness for that because the Roos have scored almost every time they've had the ball. Second and 6. Here's Casmer.
Atta
in the
boy.
backfield.
That's it,
is
Shane.
number 22, and there is Shane Weeks. And Shane Weeks is all over him, and a big loss back to the 17-yard line. Well, just as soon as Josh Craddock got the ball, Shane Weeks had him.
I think Don Legale told us that Shane is planning on going into the Marines. He was telling us that at halftime, and he may get to use that move in the Marines in a little while after he graduates.
So when you get down into this territory, that's when the Roos begin to tighten up. But we're going to have a penalty flag, and none of us up here saw the penalty flag. They're going to say offsides on that play. My.
There was a flag on that play.
And so the ball moves down to the 12. And we'll just do this over. Second down and 2 now from the 12-yard line of Weatherford. They're at the 7-yard line. Excuse me. They're on the 7. The wing is to the right side. Here is the pitch back. And they'll get inside the 5 with this one. As Nathan Moore gets the pitch back and cuts right over his right guard.
Well, we had Colt Borland and Darrell Clay combining on that tackle. And Cole did a good job of standing him up and not letting him into the end zone, but the Roos have bent here, and we're down to about 2.5 yards. If we don't get after them, we're going to end up breaking.
First and goal for Northwest at the Weatherford 2.5.
There we go.
This time it's the straight wishbone. Tight end to the right side. Here is the handoff to Williford. He's down near the goal line as they just try to blast this one in. And it will be just short.
Well, Northwest sure has a large offensive line, Randy. They've got a lot of advantage on the Roos as far as weight's concerned, and be real hard to stop them. It'll take a spectacular play right here.
Well, they had a big play by Weeks that could have helped in stopping Northwest, but they were called for offsides, and now Northwest has the ball. It will be second down with just a couple of feet to go as we end the third quarter. It is Kangaroos 35, Northwest 7. We'll be right back in a minute.
They dress him up like a ghost and he's looking through and it's Halloween and he's walking around like this.
My parents told me to go swimming and I was like, no.
You love watching movies, and Blockbuster thinks you should be rewarded for that with Blockbuster Rewards, where the more movies you rent, the more free ones you get. Plus, get a free Blockbuster Favorites movie every month.
He got on top of that bomb just like it was a horse. He was going to ride that rascal all right on into where it was going.
Join Blockbuster Rewards today and go home happy.
We are named Weatherford National Bank because we are Weatherford. From the rodeo to the Peach Festival to Christmas on the Square and everything in between, you'll find us there sharing in the rich heritage of Weatherford and Parker County. Come by any of our 5 offices located throughout Weatherford and Aledo, where you'll find free checking with overdraft protection, full-service mortgage department, extended lobby hours, and even Saturday banking, all the services that our customers have come to expect. Weatherford National Bank, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
For the Texans to narrow the gap, but they're still going to be down by a good margin here in the fourth quarter with a score. The Kangaroos 35 and Northwest 7. So they have a second down and just a foot or two. Here is Williford, and he'll go in off right guard and tackle, and that is a touchdown for Northwest. And so for the first time, Kangaroos have given up 2 touchdowns to a district opponent, and it's 35-13 now. We want to add that Don Legale has given us a sealed envelope, and inside this sealed envelope, just like last week, is everything that was going to happen in this game, and we will open it, and we'll see. Here is the extra point attempted is no good. We will open it, and we will see if Don Legale is correct. Right now, the score 35-13. We're going to stay right here with it. The Kangaroos are still in good shape in this game as we just begin the fourth quarter. Don Legale, of course, last week, I think he hit on about, 3 out of 5 predictions last week with his envelope against Hazel.
He was pretty good, I tell you, pretty
good.
good.
I don't see him sweating too much over there right now, folks. He's got a kind of a smirky smile on his face as we hold the envelope up. And tonight, right after the game is over, we will open this up and see if Don Legale was able to predict exactly what was going to happen in tonight's contest. Do we have some more scores, Don, to give us? I know that we had a score on perhaps Aledo and some of the other local teams, Boyd and Bridgeport.
Well, and with all we did at halftime, we didn't get to some of these scores. The last score we had on the Aledo-Alvarado game was 7-3, Alvarado over Aledo. The last score we had on the Mineral Wells and Azle game had Mineral Wells leading that one 10-0. Boyd had built up a tremendous lead over Paradise, 50-0 over Paradise. Bridgeport had a 14-7 lead over Gainesville, and Brewer and Boswell were 7, Brewer, Boswell 3 at the half.
And Brewer and Boswell, the winner of that game, will be in the playoffs, and also Azle has to defeat Mineral Wells tonight. Here is an onside pooch kick, and it will go back, and there is again. That will be Casey Cook with the ball. and he's going to be tackled around the 35-yard line. He was pushed all the way back to the 25, but a nice reception by Casey, and he did not call a fair catch. He caught it and took off, and they're going to call him down at the 35-yard line. So that's where the Rules will start out here with a 35-13 lead.
Well, Casey did a good job of hanging on to that ball. Very easily could have had a fumble there, and he had both arms wrapped around the ball and did a good job of protecting it.
1st and 10 for the Roos. And let's see what they do right now with Mark Pierce in, also Zach Moore, and they've got most of their starters in there still. Chad Legale is on the right side. Split out, pitch out to Mark, and again, a good hole, 40. He's going to go to the 45 and run out of bounds at the 47 as he gets outside the Northwest defense. And that will be a first down as they mark it at the 48 on the Kangaroo side of the field. The Kangaroos going into the playoffs next week. And we're keeping up with the scores for you. Last one we had was Wichita Falls 17 and nothing for Ryder, so it does not appear like that Ryder will get in. If they lose that game, they're out, and it will be Denton and the Roos. So 1st and 10 for the Roos. We're on 48. Quick pass to the flat. Here's Cashin Carlisle. He catches it, and he'll get about 5 yards. And we have now Wichita Falls 34, Ryder nothing. So Ryder's gone. It's going to be Denton. 11:27 to go in the 4th quarter.
Well, that'll be a fun game to go watch, won't it, Randy? The Roos over at Farrington Field.
Well, let's just go by comparative scores. The Denton Broncos, let's see, they beat Azle. Well, they beat Boswell 27-13. And the Roos shut out Boswell 30-0. We got any other comparative scores? I believe they played Azle also, right? Don't know the score of that one. 2nd down for the Roos, about 5 needed for the first. Zach Moore back to pass, and he's going to run to his left, and he's going to find a receiver down there. And Garrett Hudson turns around and catches it at the 25, and Zach Moore is giving Denton and perhaps Cleveland and Brownwood something to look at right here, folks.
Well, Zach doing a great job of scrambling him back there, and the offensive line just continuing to block to give him plenty of time to throw that ball. So excellent job by the entire team.
Gain of 25 yards. Nice catch by Garrett. And 1st and 10 for the Roos from the Northwest 22. 2 receivers right. Hudson is in the slot. Pierce will get the ball.
Go, Mark.
He's at the 20.
Get out there.
Looking for a block at the 10. Runs over a man right at the 7-yard line and is finally knocked out at the 5 as he just stiff-armed somebody and ran right over him. And they're going to give him the 6-yard line.
Well, Randy, we had Michael Branch coming in that time for Michael Ross at center. It looks like we have number 66, Brandon Brown, coming in for number 64, Bradley Simmons on the line also.
You know, last week we mentioned that Azle got a full dose of Mark Pierce, and this week they're getting a full dose of Mark Pierce, a full dose of Zach Moore, full dose of Garrett Hudson, and that entire backfield is producing some yardage and some points. And just as they line up, we're going to have an illegal procedure call against the Roos, and that will move them back, so they'll have to go 11 yards for their touchdown. It'll be 1st and goal from the 11.
Well, and Randy, I'd like to mention that what we got to see just there on those couple of plays and a lot of plays today is the dimension of the Roo offense that we just simply haven't had to see very much of. It's been there the whole time. Moore is a good quarterback, got good touch on the ball. Didn't have an interception until last week.
Right. 1st and goal from the 11. Cashin will have it. And Cashin will get down inside the 10. A gain of perhaps a yard on the play. We'll have a 2nd down, and about 10 yards to go. And you know, Kangaroos have been winning at everything, not just the football team. Well, last year we saw the baseball team go to the regional finals, softball team, state finals. Both of the basketball teams went to the area championship game. It just goes on and on and on. And this is just a continuation of all of the success the Roos have had athletically in the last couple of years. Here's a pitch out to Carlisle, and again, he'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. We'll have a 3rd down and goal. And, you know, one of the things that's happened over the last several years is that the Parker County schools have been just bludgeoning Tarrant County schools in every sport. Volleyball, softball, football. Springtown started blasting the Tarrant County schools, Diamond Hill, Poly, Carter Riverside, Brewer, Castleberry back in the 80s. Now the other teams have taken up on it. Volleyball teams crunching the Tarrant County schools.
Go, Cassie, go.
With a draw play, and he'll get down to the 8-yard line, perhaps the 7 before he is upended, and a tackle, an open field tackle by Kent Disher will stop him there. You know, if the Weatherford softball team wants to lose to a Tarrant County school, Mark, they would just disband them, and they wouldn't have softball. They would just end it as a competitive sport. Send all the girls home for a week without supper. They're not going to lose to a Tarrant County school in their own classification.
It would be.
And you know, the Alito and the Lady Cats over there and the Bearcats, they have been crushing Tarrant County schools. So there's something we're doing right. I mean, I would think we're probably ahead academically and athletically. So Parker County, a great place to live.
No doubt about that.
And very good leadership in the administration of all of our school districts over here. You can come over to Parker County and you can live and have room to breathe and grow out in the cross timbers and the high prairie. You know, I still don't know how people live over there. Let's just say South Lake. In every edition, they all have the same roof. Have you noticed that? Same color roof. I can't stand to live in a place where everybody has the same color roof.
Is that why you live in Springtown? You don't have that. You don't have that situation in Springtown, do you?
Yeah, and I don't have anybody living 10 feet on each side of me either. I can go in the backyard and do whatever I want to do.
There you go. Well, we're going to have a field goal attempt here.
Jeremy McClure will come in to kick it, and here is the hole by Borland, and he'll kick it from the 13-yard line, and again, it's going to be blocked. We've had several kicks blocked tonight, and Northwest will take over at the 13. We're going to stay right here with it, and we also want to thank some of our Kangaroo sponsors again while we have a chance. They've been with us all year long here on KZ 1220, your sports center. Job site sales, Roger Williams, First National Bank, Weatherford Democrat, Custom Homes by Noah, Taco Bueno, Weatherford Municipal Utilities, Hartness Printing, Sonic, Whataburger, Malt Shop, Weatherford Physical Therapy. That is some of our sponsors this year for Kangaroo football. We'll give you some more in a minute. First down for Northwest from the 13-yard line. Casmer will keep the ball. Again, he'll get out to around the 20, a gain of 7 or 8 yards. Roos are on their way to the playoffs for the first time in several years. They win in '96 as a runner-up team. And, you know, one of the more incredible things was the year they went to the playoffs, and I don't remember what year that was, but South Grand Prairie had a great kicker, and he and his dad came over to Kangaroo Stadium, and they decided they just didn't like the way things looked over here. They pulled their lawnmower out and began to cut the areas on the field where the South Grand Prairie kicker was going to be kicking. And, you know, for sheer audacity, you can't beat something like that, but that was something that got out over the news wires and went all over the nation. And I don't remember what happened in that particular case. If they did something to somebody, they should have did something to the dad, I suppose. But he wanted Kangaroo Stadium cut to his specifications.
This is not AstroTurf. This is regular turf, right?
And we will get the Denton Broncos on grass. And that's where we want them. Second down and 8 for Northwest.
Out of way.
And right at the line of the scrimmage is the ball carrier. And he is stuffed by Michael Branch, who comes in.
Well, Michael just did a good job of shedding his blocker right there, Randy, and he just pounced on the ball carrier before he even had a chance to get going.
Talking about the Kangaroos, as you know, there is one other Kangaroo team in the UIL in the state. That is Killeen. And in 1999, the two Roo teams played. It was won 8-6 by Killeen. And here is the next play that goes to Weatherford. He'll be stopped for maybe a gain of one. One reason I wanted to mention that score 8-6 Killeen over Weatherford in 1959. This year, Killeen hasn't won a district game yet. They're a cool 0-5. So it appears the Roos will be the only Kangaroos in the playoffs this year. We'll have the Northwest punting now. They'll have a 4th and 5. And back deep is Garrett Hudson and Colt Borland standing at midfield. Here is a wobbly low lining kick, and Garrett Hudson gets away from this one, and it will roll down to the 45, the 40, and down to the 36. And Randy will be down right there.
I think Darrell Clay got a hand on that ball as it was punted. He was being blocked, and just kind of watching his reaction, it sure looked like he might have tipped that ball because it didn't get very high in the air. It was just kind of a low liner.
Well, you know, another thing you see in the playoffs, you see all the Spanish O teams. Now, that's teams where the school or the town is of, the name of the town is a Spanish derivation, and it ends in O. And I'll tell you about those right after this play. 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for Weatherford. And here goes Cashin Carlisle across the 40 up to the 41. That'll be a gain of 6. 2nd down at 4. I was mentioning the O teams that you see in the playoffs, and all of these teams have winning records, a tradition of winning, and I don't know how it happens. But you think about Plano, Aledo, Alvarado, Cuero, DeSoto, Estacado, Hondo, Ganado, Alto, and even Pantego Christian. They all win, always in the playoffs, and something about that O and the Spanish derivation of those teams that get them going every year. Here we go, right up the middle, up to the 49-yard line is Cashin, and that's a 1st down as he takes this one and goes right over his right guard.
Randy, we've got a few new players in the ball game right now. Let's notice some of them. We've got number 55, Daniel Cannell, and number 80, Jake Weber in the ball game for the Roos. Of course, Mike Branch is the center at this time. So Coach McBroom getting everybody in the swing of things, getting ready for the playoffs.
Roos come out of the eye. Colt Borland is the quarterback right now, and Cashin crashing, blast over the left side, over left tackle. He'll get another quick 5 yards. And we will have the 911 Bowl this year on KZ 1220, your sports center, and I'll get to broadcast that. I'm looking forward to that. We did it last year. Of course, the police department won 14-8, a very difficult win over the fire department. And we'll have the police department fighting pigs back again. They are undefeated this year, Mark Reeve, and they bring back 21 starters from an undefeated team. That's going to be a tough team to beat. Here's Mike McDaniel down to the 45-yard line, and a gain of about 1 or 2 yards as Mike McDaniel is carrying for the first time this year. The Fire EMS team, they are undefeated. Last year, you know, they stole the jersey of Chief Blaisdell. They hung it on their flagpole. The police department sent in a SWAT team to get it. They were repulsed by one of the units. I think the EMS actually hosed them down or something. Anyway, they had a difficult time getting Chief Blaisdell's jersey back. We'll have that on KZ for you this year. Pitch out this time to the right side. Here's Shanahan. Jumps over a man. 40, 35, and he's going to be run out of bounds. And Shanahan shows his athletic ability right there. And, you know, Shanahan's going to be back next year. And we might as well mention this right now. There'll be 15 guys back. And last time I looked, I think 10 or 11 starters coming back from this team. It's not necessarily an old and experienced team. There are a lot of underclassmen out there with important jobs, and they'll be loaded again next year.
And that's what Coach McBroom's trying to do right now, Randy, is build that program to where you've got a new wave of seniors coming on each year.
First and 10 for the Roos from the 32 of Northwest, and Carlisle will get down to near the 30. It will be second down and about 8 for the Roos. Time running down, 3:32 to go in the fourth quarter, 35-13. Weatherford on top. We've got a lot of new people in there right now for the Roos.
Well, Shane Weeks coming in at running back right now as Drew Shanahan comes out. And, you know, Drew had a great run there just a minute ago, Randy, and he's had several good games at running back for the Roos this year.
Second and 9 for Weatherford. They'll have the ace backfield. And here's Mike McDaniel. He's going to be stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. As coming in is number 11 for Northwest. That is Tony Gamron. We see Tony Gamron in several sports for Northwest.
We've also got Barrett Weaver getting a little action in out there at wide receiver, Randy. Typically Barrett's in the defensive backfield, and he's getting to run some patterns against the cornerbacks himself now instead of having to play just defense.
So we'll have a third down play, and the Roos will have the I backfield. They'll have 2 receivers out. And here is an inside handoff. And that will go to Kane Riddle, who takes it this time. Gets to the 27-yard line. You can watch the Roos, of course, on your Kangaroo video. And, you know, I walked into the house the other day, into the living room, and there were 3 young ladies about 16 years old, Mark. They had out the Castleberry Weatherford game. They were watching it, and you know, every time they flashed a Roo picture on the screen, you'd hear, "Oh, he's so cute." And then they finally got Garrett Hudson's long touchdown return. And here is Mike McDaniel. He'll be stopped around the 25, and the ball will go over to Northwest. They got out Garrett Hudson's long punt return for a touchdown, and they watched it over and over and over again, just so they could see Garrett Hudson standing on the sideline smiling when it was all over. And it was almost nauseating.
I don't know what I can add to that, Randy.
A lot of heroes out on the field right there for the Roos this year, Mark.
Well, we got number 83 for the Roos coming in at defensive end, Andrew Cope.
And here is
a way to hit.
Ball carrier. He'll get out to the 30-yard line. Time running down, 1:33 to go in the regular season for the Roos, and they have finished their second season, and they will start their third season next week. The first season, of course, non-district. Second season, your district play, and if you do well there, you're rewarded with your third season, and the Roos have got 5 games left as far as we're concerned right now. Williford will get a first down as he goes off the right side. He'll be tackled by Shanahan. And, you know, we see Danny Merritt in there. You know, Danny Merritt has made a number of solo tackles in the last few weeks, Mark. He's by himself. Of course, as big as he is, he doesn't need any help. Here's Williford, right side, and right now, Northwest just conceding at 35-13. Roos on top. They're sticking with their wishbone attack, and it appears it will be the Kangaroos and Denton next week in Farrington Field. Don't know if that'll be a Friday night game or a Saturday game. Here's the wishbone again. They have one receiver to the right side. Northwest.
Oh, good play.
About to go down in defeat like the other 6 opponents in 8-4A have this year, and like the last 8 during the season. And another big, huge crowd coming to witness the champions. Down to 25 seconds to go. Northwest coming right back out. They're at their own 42. We'll have a third down play. Clock running, pitch back to Boatman, and he'll break through at midfield. He's at the 40, and Boatman may take this one all the way. Let's blow it to get him. Tags him down at the 5-yard line. Well, a magnificent effort by Boatman, but also just a tremendous effort by Colt Borland, who was the last man who could make the tackle, and he dove grabbed him around the 5-yard line and pulled him down right at the 3. They're going to mark it outside the 3-yard line. Let's stay right here with it. 6 seconds to go in the game. And, you know, Mark, you and I have been talking about how much fun it has been this year, and it seems like every year it gets more, or every game gets more and more fun. And when we get into the playoffs, it's going to be just proportions that we're probably not even used to, because you can already see the Kangaroo crowd over there at Farrington Field next week, and the Kangaroos are going in. They played a good game tonight against a tough Northwest team that normally plays everyone real close. They stayed focused. They didn't get sloppy out there on the field, and I think they're about as ready as they can be to go into the playoffs.
I agree with you, Randy. They are ready. They perhaps have looked by Northwest just a little bit. They felt confident, I know, coming into the game, and it'd be important for the Roos to stop them right here.
Well, Northwest will have 1 or 2 plays left, and here is Boatman. He'll crash in for the touchdown with 2 seconds left in the game, and so Northwest will make it look a little bit better at 35-19. But this game, again, was never in doubt after the Roos jumped on top 20-0 in the first half, and then built a 28-7 halftime lead.
Well, no doubt it's been all Roos the entire game.
And Northwest will try to get the single extra point here. Here's a high snap. Running around the right side is number 33. Are they going to give it to him?
Nope.
And they're going to say he was stopped short as he was ran out of bounds. And I believe Kane Riddle was over there. And also I believe that's number 80. That would be Weber. Can't see the number right now. Way over on the southwest side of the field. Who was it?
I believe that was 81. Casey Cook is who that was, Randy.
So the Roos do hold them on the 2-point conversion. And we've got time for an onside kick here by Northwest, and that will be the end of the game. The Kangaroos are on top 35-19. And they will go into the playoffs as the Division I representative from 8-4A. That is the big schools. And right now we don't know who the other 2 schools are going to be, the 2 Division II schools. It looks like it could be Brewer. They were leading Boswell the last time we looked, and Mineral Wells was on top of Azle. That may kick Azle out of it. And so either, 2 of the 3, Brewer, Boswell, and Mineral Wells, the way it looks from the scores that we got at halftime. Well, Northwest will pooch kick it or try an onside kick, or who knows what they'll try right here with 2 seconds left.
Randy, I think they've put their 16-point play in is what they're doing.
Well, they come out, and they've got most of their men over on the south side of the field, and that's the way the kicker, Cameron, is, now Andrew Rodenberg is pointing, and this is going to be received by Boney. Nice snap by Boney, and time runs off the clock as he's going to be tackled at the 45 of Northwest, and the Weatherford Kangaroos, the champions of 8-4A, have won 9 straight ball games, and they have tied the 1965 team with the best record of all time, 100 years of Kangaroo football. Final score, Kangaroos 35, Northwest 19. We'll be back with more Roo football right after this.